Pleasant Hope High School, we want to thank you for continuing to raise money for the Polar Plunge and for taking the plunge in the cold water.
I love Special Olympics because everybody's included.
It's for a good cause. There's nothing to lose.
It was really fun just being able to help people.
I just think that it's an important part of me now, getting to work with Special Olympics. Like I said, my calling for working with kids someday came from that.
I've loved the environment and people raising each other up, and I like being a part of something greater than myself.
I really like helping people and sports, and Special Olympics is something that does both.
And it's a good thing to do for people. It's more of a heartwarming thing than a selfish thing.
So it's very empowering, and it makes you want to do it more, and it makes you want to keep going.
Through projects like this, the Polar Plunge, our kids understand what it's about to give back to the community, to give back to organizations like Special Olympics.
I raised a little over $1,000.
This year, I think I raised $500 or $600.
Last 3 years, probably around 300, 400.
Throughout the whole time that I've been involved, I've probably raised close to $1,000.
This year, I raised $300.
I raised around $1,200 to $1,400. Last year, I think I raised a little over $5,000.
It makes me feel really proud that Pleasant Hope, out of all the schools, raises the most money because we're such a small school, and being able to raise that much money is just something that's really amazing.
It makes me feel really proud of our group because we all work really hard and we all really care. But I'm also really grateful that we are able to do this, especially being such a small school. We may not be the biggest school or have the most money or have the most opportunity, but when we all come together, we can really make a big impact and raise a lot of money.
Actually, I think it's really crazy that Pleasant Hope has raised the most money because it's a small school in a small place. They never hear about it, so I think it's crazy that it's raised more money than other schools that people do know about.
It definitely gives me a sense of pride. It just feels awesome to know that even for how small we are, we can come together and our community can come together.
It makes me feel good that Pleasant Hope raised the most because it shows us what we can do, but it also doesn't make me feel good because a lot of other bigger schools could raise a lot more than us.
I think that it shows that even though we're a small community and a small school, that BA can have a big impact. And I think that we have a lot of pride for that now. And I personally, coming into this year, I was really excited for this event because I was like, we can prove one more year while I'm here that we can raise enough money with the small community, and getting community involved is kind of the key in raising that much.
Even though we're small, we've put a lot of pride into it, and the fact that we've been able to raise the most money for so many years in a row is just a great thing to show the pride that even a small school can do to raise that much money and just help out the overall cause in general. I'm really proud of our kids. I'm really proud of our community for stepping up and supporting it.
I know that Ms. Cost and Mr. Offerdahl raised a lot of money for Special Olympics this year, and that really helped bring our grand total to a huge number to help Pleasant Hope win the Cool School Award.
So I got to really commend Boo Kosh. She's done a great job this year, and she did a great job to help lead our Polar Plunge this year. The idea she had to build a faculty team and get people to raise money that way was a great concept she brought on this year. So I've really been proud of the way that Boo's stepped up and done some good things for our program. There was a group right after us that plunged. It was made up of all Pleasant Hope School alumni, and they came fired up. Great to see that represent their school and their community still as Pleasant Hope alumni, still supporting Special Olympics and working hand in hand with law enforcement.
And I've just seen how much of an impact it has, and I don't know. It's something I want to do. If we would have stopped doing it as a group, then I would have continued to do it.
I just say do it. You might be nervous at first, but you just have to put yourself out there.
I would just say get involved and do something that's not necessarily for you, and it'll come back to help you.
The people that came back last year to polar plunge again, I feel like I want to do that, like keep plunging.
So I do plan on coming back next year with the other people who have graduated. I will join them and fundraise.
I think it's kind of cool to know that like half my family does it at least, and that we could probably get more of my family to do it, because I don't know how many other people, like personally, that their majority of their family has gone and done polar plunge.
Something else that was really awesome with polar plunge is my dad actually volunteered to do it with me. And so he ran in the freezing cold water with me. And we both did it for this wonderful cause. It felt great to have a family member support something that you wanted to help with or that you believed in. It just showed that people from the outside also care.
Cheyenne first told me about it, and so it just like, now all of my family knows about it, so I feel pretty good. I'm gonna cry. It makes me feel really proud, because I know, like, she originally got started with it because of me. She's going to continue it because she enjoys it herself, and she wants to give back and she wants to help, and not just because of me anymore. That just makes me feel really proud. I'm also really grateful.
The plunge is sponsored by law enforcement, and that matters a lot to me because my dad is in law enforcement.
It's a great way for students to interact in a situation with law enforcement where they can look at them in a positive atmosphere, where they're not looking at cops are out to get them or things like that, and they develop healthy relationships. It's a great event for our kids to be exposed to that. They get to set up for the event. They go a day early. They work with the law enforcement in setting up for the plunge. And our school's been really honored to be able to be a part of that, working hand in hand with the law enforcement to put on a great event.
Something that you do not realize how invaluable you are to us is for all the help that you give us setting up and tearing down for the polar plunge. So thank you for all of your support. We appreciate everything you do, and our athletes are better because of you.
You know, we talk about sometimes in school the idea that, you know, you have your core subjects, and we talk about grades and getting good grades, and you got to do this to graduate. But there's so much more to education in the public schools, and understanding that serving others and helping others out is one of the biggest things you can learn growing up, as far as just a responsibility to your community, a responsibility to your family, a responsibility to making the world a better place.